guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new here. Hi, my name is Rosie, and thank you so much for taking a moment out of your busy day to spend a few moments with me. So in today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to make a super cute loaded envelope. Now let me just tell you that for some reason, this project just didn't want to come together. My measurements kept being off, and I've filmed and refilmed, and you know what? This time it's going to come out perfect, right? Right. Okay, so in this video, I'm going to be using a scrapbook collection that I picked up from Tuesday Morning, just recently, like a week ago, and it's by Simple Stories, and the name of the collection is Happy Hearts. So if you're ready, let's get started. Okay, so for the base, you're going to need 2 pieces of cardstock. One you need 4.5 by 7.5. And the other one that you need is going to be 8.5 by 9.5. And on this 8.5 by 9.5, we need to make a few score marks. So let's go ahead and place our cardstock in on the 8.5 inch side. And we're going to score at 1/2 inch, 1, 1.5, 2, and then at 6.5, 7, 7.5, and 8.5. And then we're going to go ahead and we're just going to rotate it to the 9.5 inch side, and we're going to score at 1/2 inch, 1, 1.5, and 2. That's all the scoring that we need to do for the base. So let me go ahead and get rid of my scoreboard. And then we will go ahead and we will fold on all of our score marks. Okay, so now we have folded everywhere. So what you should have in front of you is a longer piece, a longer panel at the top, and then small little boxes on the bottom. What we're going to do is we're going to cut away the small little boxes on either side. So let me go ahead and do it, and then I'll show you kind of what it should look like. Okay, so I'm cutting away essentially the bottom 4 boxes on both the left and right hand side. Okay, and we'll do this. Okay, so let's get rid of the garbage. Okay, so now what we should be left with are 4 long 1/2 inch panels on the left and right hand side. And then on the bottom, all we should have is the middle long 1/2 inch panels. Okay, once we have all of our sides all folded, we're going to go ahead and we're going to place our double-sided tape down. So I'm bringing in just 1/4 inch double-sided tape, my score tape, and only because my 1/2 inch is just about run out. So that's why I'm using my 1/4 inch, but certainly you can use any adhesive that you want. You can use your liquid glue as well. Okay, and then this side here. Okay, so now we have our double-sided tape all placed down on all 3 sides. Put this back. Okay, so now we're going to bring in our other piece. We had cut ourselves a 4.5 by 7.5, and that's going to be for the back of our base. So let's see here. I'm just going to fold this back up again, and for some reason I'm feeling like this is just slightly off, and it is, So all I'm going to do to make this a little bit more even is I'm going to go ahead and just take off just a little bit that's hanging off the edge. You can wait until after you're done adhering to as well. And I'm going to do this in phases. So let's start with the first one. You can place it down any which way you want. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and fold one side. I'm going to release a little bit of the paper backing. And then I'm just going to fold up the bottom. Make sure it's edge to edge. And then I'll place this back. I'll do the same thing on this side as well. Okay, and I'm just going to remove a little bit, release a little bit of the paper backing, just enough so that I can adhere the bottom. Okay. So see, I just find that it's easier when we do that, when at least that part of it is done. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're simply going to place this piece on top of this piece. That's all we're going to do, okay? So let me go ahead. I'm going to release this just a little bit so I can continue to bring up this piece here. Okay, and we're going to start at one corner. So I'm going to release a little bit at the top. And I'm just going to take my extra piece, my back piece, and I'm just going to line it up. Just make sure that your edges are all lined up and release a little bit and press down. Okay, so now we have the first two sides done. Now we just need to adhere the last part. Okay, and then release a little bit and press down. Release a little bit, press down, and the remaining. That's, I think anyway, for me, it tends to be a lot easier when I do it this way. That way at least I know that I'm going edge to edge, and it just makes it a little bit easier, is all. Of course, if you have a better way of doing it, absolutely, do whatever feels good. So now we have our expanded pocket. Alright guys, so now we get to play with our scrapbook paper. So what you're going to need are two pieces that are 4 7/8 by 7 3/8. Okay, so I'm going to use Reptile glue to adhere my scrapbook paper, and I am just loving this collection. Okay, so I've gone ahead and I have lined my bag. Okay, great. Okay, the next part that we want to do is I want to make a couple of, I want to do a couple of pockets, front pockets for this bag. So let me tell you what we're going to need in order to do that. Let me move things out of the way. Okay, so for the first pocket, you're going to need a piece of cardstock that is 6.5 by 4.5. And we're going to go ahead and place it in on the 6.5 inch side, and we're going to score at 1/2 inch and at 1, and then at 5.5 and 6. Then we're going to go ahead and just turn it to the 4.5 inch side, and we're going to score at 1/2 inch and at 1. So that's to do that pocket. Now let's go ahead and we're going to go ahead and just fold and crease on all of our score marks. Okay, so now that we've got that done, what we're going to do is we're going to remove the 4 little boxes on both the left and right hand side of the cardstock. So let's see, there's one. So see, I just cut away those 4 little boxes. We're going to do the same thing on this side as well. And then what we're going to need is we're going to need a piece of scrapbook paper to line the pocket. So what you're going to need is a piece that is 4 7/8 by 3 3/8. And that should give you right about 1/8 of an inch all the way around. So use my bone folder. Okay. So now that we have that done, let's go ahead and work on the other pocket before we go and place it down on our pouch. So for that, let me go ahead and grab my scoreboard again. And for this pocket, what we're going to need is a piece that is 6.5 by 4. So let's go ahead and place it in at the 6.5 inch side, and we're going to score at 1/2 inch, 1, 5.5, and 6. Then we're going to turn it to the 4-inch side. Something on my cardstock on the 4-inch side, and we're just going to score at 1/2 inch and at 1. So that's all the scoring that we need to do for that pocket. So let's go ahead and fold and crease on our marks, and then we're going to do the exact same thing that we did on the last pocket, which is we're going to cut away the 4 little mini boxes on the left and right hand side of our pocket. Okay, so we took out the little boxes. Now we need a piece of scrapbook paper that's going to line the top. So for that, what you're going to need is a piece that is 4 3/8 by 2 7/8. Yeah, 4 3/8 by 2 7/8. And let me go ahead and just make sure that my glue is unplugged. And I'll go ahead and get it all over. I'll be generous. Okay, and then we'll just place it down. Okay, so next what I thought might be cute is to use a border punch along our pockets. So let me move some out of the way. I'm totally crafting on the fly here. I just picked a Martha Stewart punch. I have no idea what the name of it is, but I have a bunch of these in my studio, and just thought that it might be nice to do that. So I'm trying to see as best as possible. All right, let's see, did that come out good? Okay. And then let's just do that all the way around. Good. Okay. Let's go ahead and do the other one as well. And you know what? It's no harm, no foul, right? If it doesn't come out exactly perfect, that's okay, right? Okay. Let's see here. Let me get rid of all of this garbage here. I wanted something kind of frilly and girly, and you know what I mean. All right, so now we need I'm looking for my little pair of scissors. Got scissors everywhere. Okay, so now what I need to do is I'm just going to cut right to the score mark. So just like this. I'm just cutting up to the score mark right here, and I'm going to do the exact same thing on the opposite side. Because we're not even going to see that, right? Because it's going to be folded. Okay. So see what I mean? Oh, you know what? I could probably cut this one as well. The little piece of green here. Okay, so now let's go ahead and bring back in our base. And we have our 2 envelopes. So the larger, the 2 pockets. the larger pocket we're gonna put down first. And what I did was I just made myself a little mark about 5 inches up from the bottom. So I did that just so for placement purposes, so I kind of knew where to put it. I am going to place down my double-sided tape. Currently, right now, what I'm doing is I'm usually crafting in the morning, guys, and then I'm taking the afternoon to kind of sort, organize, restructure my whole craft room area, or rather areas. Okay, snip that off. Okay, so let's go ahead and work on the larger one first. So again, I made myself a mark about 5 inches up from the bottom, and I did it on both sides just to make sure that I am straight. Let's go ahead and remove the paper backing. Okay, so let's go ahead and place our pocket down. Again, I'm using that little notch there that I made myself as a gauge, so I know where to place it down. Press that down firmly, and then I'm just going to use the other side, that notch that I made, just to make sure that it's even. Right about there. Good, okay, and then just press the bottom as well. Okay, let's get rid of our garbage. Now that should be straight, and it is, so that's good. Okay, let's go ahead and grab our other pocket. Okay, press that down really well. Okay, perfect. All right, so now we have our pocket down here, and we have our pocket down here. And then, of course, we have our pocket on the top, our top loading pocket. Okay, next what we want to do is we're going to add a little bit of something here on the upper part of our bag. So for that, you're going to need 2 pieces of cardstock that are 3 by 3. And all we're going to do is we're going to make a score mark at 1/2 inch on both sides. So we need 2 pieces of cardstock that are 3 by 3, and we're going to score at 1/2 inch on both. Let's go ahead and just fold and crease. Okay, and then what we're going to need are 2 pieces of cardstock that we're going to line the cardstock with, and for that you're going to need 2 pieces that are 2 3/8 by 2 7/8. So let's go ahead and get our adhesive and just place it all over the back. Okay, so let's see here. Now we have our 3 by 3, and all I did was I took my scoring tool and just kind of curled the edge. You can use a pencil as well. So if your 1/2 inch mark is on this side, I curled this side. If your 1/2 inch mark is on this side, I curled this side. And let me see, I'm using my score tool, but let me see if I use a pencil, if it gets just maybe a little bit tighter. And I'm just going to do that like that. I think that made just a little bit tighter of a curl. All right, and then let's go ahead, let me see here. I may have overshot, so you know what? I am going to cut a little bit off. So let's see, I'm gonna do maybe about 1/2 inch. I'm gonna cut, you know, crafting on the fly. This is what happens. We have to modify things as we go, right? No big deal. So let's see here, that looks about right, and I'm just gonna take, I don't know, it looks like about maybe 1/2 inch off. Okay, and then let's get some double-sided tape or adhesive, whichever you wish, and place it on the 1/2 inch score. And we'll do that on both. Okay. And then remove the paper backing on both. Okay, there's one, and there's the other. Okay. So let's see. My 1/2 inch mark is on the left-hand side, so I'm just going to line it up right to the top edge. Make sure it's flush against the left. Okay, press that down really well, and then I'm just going to very easily place it inside like that. Okay, and then let's go ahead and do the other side. Just making those curls look a little bit better here. Okay, so there is the structure. Now you can fill it up with anything that you want. You can decorate it any which way. You have tons of room. Now if you want, I'm gonna, let me think about this. I want to place a thumb notch here, but I'm not sure because I am using heavier cardstock, but let's try it. Let's just see, shall we? Okay, and I'm gonna try and go in the middle. There we go. Okay, place that back. All right, so there we have it, guys. A nice little loaded pocket. You have tons of room to add things. You have a bottom pocket, a middle pocket, and then of course, your larger pocket to add anything that you have that is taller. There you have it, guys. Now it's just a matter of decorating it any which way you want. All right, guys, so it's several days later. I actually forgot that I had recorded this this tutorial. I have so many videos that I have going on at one time. I kind of lost sight of this one. So let me show you kind of how I ended up decorating this little loaded pouch. I absolutely love this paper. So as you can see, I just kind of filled it up with some different things. Here, let me just take this out so you can see it a little bit better. So I created a little cluster here using different flowers, adding a sentiment, then creating my own little cluster embellishment, adding an eyelet, and then adding some seam binding. So in the first pocket, I just have here, I pulled this out of my embellishments area of things that I've already completed. And I had this already packaged up. So I put in here just a bow paper clip that I had made previously. That's the great thing about having embellishments already done and packaged and set off to one side, that you can just pull things and use them or gift them as you need to. So there is what I put in the first pouch. And then in the second, so in here, I took from my embellishments area this little item here. So I have a glassine bag. I decorated it with some beads, made a little bow, and added a flower. And then inside, I had made this previously. It's just a pouch for different embellishments that you can send. So if I wanted to, if this was a little bit deeper, I could actually fill this with different things, but here is an idea of something different that you can do. I'm just trying to open them all up so you can see. So you can see that I have 5 pages in an accordion manner, and I can slip in 5 different embellishments that are flat. So I included that. And then as well in the back here, I have a couple of more embellishments. Let me place this off to the side here. So I included some flowers that I had previously made. Here's a Polaroid that I made previously, and a banner that I had made. This one here is actually kind of like a hanging pennant cluster embellishment. Here is the string, and then I just made a bunch of clusters to go on top. So I was able to include all of this within this one Happy Mail pouch. So let me go ahead and place this all back in. Let's see here. Let's do this in here. Let's see. I'm going to move this over to the side just a little bit here. Let's see. Okay, and then this one we'll put in the front. And then this one we will put in the way front. Alrighty, so there you have it, guys. Here's another idea. If you want to send something out to a friend of yours, or you're participating in a swap, whatever the idea may be, if it's a birthday gift, gift card, if it's a girl, maybe jewelry, all kinds of different things, maybe a notepad with their initial on it, whatever it may be. But you have different pouches or different slots to add in items. I love this paper so much. Alright guys, well that's all I have for you today. I really hope that you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please smash that like button. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And if you have, guys, thank you so much. Your support goes an awful long way in helping my channel out. Alright guys, until the next time, stay safe, be kind, and keep it creative.